Time for your ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
After a record-setting Monday here in central and eastern Kentucky with temperatures in the low 70s, feeling like spring, a little dose of reality, especially here in the bluegrass. And as we roll into the midweek, an active weather pattern kicks in. We've got several rain chances here in the coming days. Of course, the ground's pretty saturated, so flooding may be a concern, especially in those low-lying areas and those that are generally susceptible to some high water issues. How about a little hint of winter returning on the horizon into the early part of next week? We had some stubborn clouds for a while. That boundary moved through early, but a persistent northeast wind, even after skies cleared this afternoon, really making a difference with cooling things off here in the bluegrass, while some milder air managed to hang on down to the south. Checking out downtown Mount Sterling, Montgomery County. It's 43, that northeast wind. It's been steady at about 5 to 10, occasionally upwards of 15. Farther to the southeast in Jackson County near McKee, plenty of sunshine, but notice 51 there. So there is a gradient, and I think what's happening is that northeast wind's essentially riding down the west side of the mountains here and bringing the cooler air here in the bluegrass. Meanwhile, managed to hang on to the upper 50s to around 60 along and south of the Hal Rogers Parkway. Everywhere it is definitely much, much cooler than 24 hours ago, to the tune of 20 to even 30 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. Not overly breezy today. We've had gusts 10 to 15, but those will amp up a bit, I think, rolling into Thursday. But look at the spread here through the Ohio and Tennessee Valley. 70s down south, 30s up north. We're right in the middle, and that's where we are going to be tomorrow. Frontal boundary to the south, that is going to arc back to the north as a warm front. And that's why we're going to have essentially the dividing line between the milder air down south and the cooler air up north set up down here along southern Kentucky tomorrow. Mid-30s here in the bluegrass to wake up, low to mid-40s down south. But notice by tomorrow afternoon, persistent east wind and some showers. That's going to keep us in the low 40s. But look down toward Monticello and Williamsburg. Low 60s on the other side of the front. Eventually the warm front lifts to the north, so temperatures actually rise late tomorrow evening and during the early hours of Thursday. And with the low-level jet pumping some moisture in, we'll see showers, a few thunderstorms, and there's a low-end level 1 risk here. Basically, Berea, Danville, Somerset, down toward Lake Cumberland. A stronger storm or two can't be ruled out. The other part of this is some soaking rain, which could be a little bit problematic given the fact that we've seen a lot of wet weather and the snow melt of late. Just a marginal flash flood risk through the heart of the viewing area tomorrow. So again, those areas that typically see some issues with that, they'll have to be mindful. Now on Thursday, the warm front to our northeast, everyone gets back in the milder air for a day, and then we see a brief break back down into the upper 40s. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. So solid rain chances the next couple of days, break Friday, and then we're in it again on Saturday. And that's why we're going to be bouncing around up to the 60s, down to the 40s. That's going to be the trend here over the next few days. So heading into the weekend, we spike back up into the 60s, but you'll need to keep the rain gear handy. I think the activity winds down into late Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, a cooler day. And speaking of cool, temperatures stay cool, and we may actually see a little bit of moisture riding along that boundary. And so a touch of wintry weather again could be back on the table. Tonight, clouds increase again, so mostly cloudy, cold, 35 here in Lexington, a little bit milder down south, low to mid 40s there. Again, we stay in the mid 40s, chilly with showers, warmer temperatures south. And notice on the 7-day, the orange arrow there indicating rising temperatures. So actually out the door Thursday morning, we'll be in the mid to upper 50s on the way to the mid 60s. And the back and forth temperatures continue through the weekend before some colder air does work in early next week with afternoon highs in the upper 30s.